Hi friends, so today we are going to do a little bit of mixing fertilizers. Now today we are going to focus on something very important. First we're looking at our Masterblend NPK tomato formula 14-18-32, our Masterblend lettuce formula, and we also have calcium nitrate and magnesium sulfate. Now why is this important? This all here focuses on what hydroponic is, and hydroponic is simple. Soilless medium, focusing on your NPK, calcium nitrate, magnesium sulfate. How do we go about mixing this? It's very easy. Your NPK and your calcium nitrate is the major or the larger volumes, whereas your magnesium sulfate you will use less. So when you're hungry and you go to your favorite establishment for fried chicken and you order a 3-piece, you want something that will fill you. And in this case, let's look at it through the lens of hydroponic farming. We want something that will be able to fill the plant. So what we have, 1, 2, 3, a 3-piece. So you'll get 1 big piece, 2 big piece, and a small piece. So your 2 big pieces will always be the same amount, and your small piece will always be less or half the amount. So what I always recommend to persons using your hydroponic approach, if you're using 1 teaspoon of your NPK, you need to use 1 teaspoon of your calcium nitrate and a half a teaspoon for your magnesium sulfate. So this is your 3-piece combo here: NPK, calcium nitrate, magnesium sulfate. Big piece, small piece. Combined together, that's your 3-piece. So when mixing your fertilizers, I always say get a disposable spoon, measuring spoon, mixing cup, TDS meter, and if you have it, a pot spoon. It's very convenient. So what we are going to do, let's review what we have studied so far. We are looking for a leafy crop formula. So we are going to grab our lettuce mix, our calcium nitrate, our magnesium sulfate. So we want to get at least a 600 to 800 ppm. So my recommendation is to have 1 teaspoon per gallon of your NPK. Therefore, if it's 1 teaspoon of NPK, you need to get 1 teaspoon of calcium nitrate per gallon and a half a teaspoon of magnesium sulfate per gallon. So based on whatever reservoir that you are using, these will vary. Now this will give you an average of 600 to 800 ppm, and because we are not commercial growers, we are not going to put too much heavy lifting on our formulation. So make sure that your reservoir is properly filled. We have at least 5 gallons of water here, so therefore we need to be putting 5 teaspoons of calcium nitrate, 5 teaspoons of NPK, and we need to put 2.5 teaspoons of magnesium sulfate, because it's 1 big piece, 1 big piece, and 1 small piece. So this is our bed here. Make sure that your beds are properly hydrated before transplanting. But there's a key you must always follow. Magnesium sulfate and your NPK, they can dissolve together. However, your calcium nitrate needs to be dissolved independently. But let's make it safe. We will dissolve each product by itself. So what we're going to do when we're measuring, we take the concentrated granules, we put it in our dissolving cup, we mix, and then add to the reservoir. We're doing 1 by 1 by 1, not all 3 together. And then you use your pot spoon, you give it a nice mix, your TDS meter, and you will be able to measure the concentration of your reservoir. Let's dissolve our calcium nitrate. So we're going 5 gallons. So we're going to get 5. Make sure when you're using your fertilizers to store them properly, because what you're gonna get, the situation that we're having right now, it started solidifying. 2, 3, 4, 5. Give it a nice stir. Make sure all your crystals have completely dissolved, because if it's not completely dissolved, your calcium can negatively interact with your other elements, and that is where you could have toxicity levels building up that can negatively impact your plants. So I'm seeing this is more or less dissolved. Now we're going to go in with our lettuce formula. I always use Masterblend. You tend to get a better yield of crop, easy to work with. And it's value for your money in terms of your returns.